So we're coming to the last few minutes of your preparation time. If you're using props under yourself, then feel free to remove them and lay flat on your back. It's always good to give your spine a little bit of a break. Behind also works. No, cute. I think you can still square it out. That should work, no? Right behind you, yeah. I mean, do what you need to do. There's still space. On the side, that should work still. Good. Okay, sugar plums. If you're still laying on your back, slowly start to bend the knees. Roll over to your right side. And don't rush anything, especially if you're laying for a while, so you don't want to bring a shock to your system. This is one of the reasons why we roll over the right side also after Shavasana, because you know your blood is flowing differently. And then find your way into your first comfortable seat, whatever that means. Sit any way that you like. Nice and tall would be good. And don't break your legs for that first seat. Don't make it try to look yogi. Don't try to do something that you saw on Instagram yet. Just sit comfortable anyway with your legs. It's all good. The important part is the spine, that we sit tall. So to sit maybe on something, on a block or something, that's interesting. Not how far you can shift your foot up towards your hip or so. That's not interesting. You can allow your beautiful eyes to either soften, and we mean with soft eyes that you sort of stare into nothing, or you might as well close them. And for just now, I want you to listen to everything that you can hear in this room. My Teutonic voice over the microphone, the sound of the air conditioning, the Karma Yogi leaving. Anything that you can hear, that you can register. What I don't want you to do is have an opinion about it. Just notice. Often comes the question up like, what is yoga? And I could have days, weeks, months, years filled with different answers, because it's a very complex question. It's not simple. But when we talk about yogic practice, one way you could say that all yogic practice is listening. You practice to listen. Be that to your own body, be that to your thoughts, be that to your mind, to your heart, to your life. Because we are a lot on automatic pilot during our lives. We are, we are busy beavers. Life is busy. We're having a lot of things to do than listening to our thoughts. So this is really what the practice is about. We are going to start with a few rounds of the syllable Om. So we are not going 3 times, we're going to go a few times. We call it ocean of Om or tapestry of Om, because you're not necessarily following your neighbor. So somehow, for security reasons, it happens a lot, and that's okay too. More power in numbers. But really what you would do is you follow your own breath. So you take a deep inhale, you Om it out, which is your exhale, taking your time for your inhale, Om it out for you. That's your breath, that's your rhythm. And I keep on sort of playing so it can just nicely mishmash, clash into each other like waves in the ocean. So very, very sweetly. And remember, there's nothing that you could do. A good idea, though, would be maybe to first make some space by exhaling completely. Inhale. can bring your hands together in front of your chest, your heart center, bowing your head slightly. And either you offer this practice up to somebody else or some other cause, or you can set an intention of how you want to approach yourself tonight. And then you can rest your hands back onto your knees, and I say a very sweet welcome, everybody. My name is Mark, and we just come together to share a little practice. So what they really should call this is play hour for adults, because you come to play. That's really it. You can take it very seriously, of course, but my lord, that's not necessarily my way of either teaching or practicing. I'm watching a lot of these YouTube recordings now of my own class, and in some of them it looks like I have a mental breakdown while teaching. That's okay. I'm very loud, I'm very obnoxious, I like to, you know, what you gonna do? So, in Svaha Yoga, we always talk about a certain topic during the months. And this is our last week talking about the Yoga Sutras. Very, very beautiful book. And I would be amiss if I wouldn't at least mention the eightfolded path of yoga, because it's one of those very big guiding lights for so many modern yogis and Instagram feeds. So we have to mention it. So in the book, which is a sort of manual of how to practice yoga and how to learn to still the fluctuations of the mind, are different ways of practice. And there are 8 of them. Yamas, niyamas, that are the first 2. Then comes asana, pranayama, the breathing, and then come different practices, pratyahara, is sort of meditation, absorption in your thoughts, and then finally samadhi, which is, well, for the lack of a better word, some call it enlightenment, but it's really just to be stepping out of yourself. There are different ways of looking at it. In a traditional yoga practice, in the classic yoga, they call it a ladder. You know, step by step. Which is great, which is lovely, because it reminds us students that yes, there is a sense of process to it. You know, it takes a while. There will be an evolution to our practice. And they start with the yamas and the niyamas, which are sort of ethical ways of living. It's like a little bit the Yogi 10 Commandments, in a way. And it's very important, and you will understand when we talk about them, why they put them before asana practice. But there's also a tantric way of seeing them. Tantra is a very old style of yoga. I'm not saying that wrong. Style is maybe not a school of yoga. And believe me, there's a lot more to Tantra than just having sex. It's a teeny little part. But the difference in Tantra is more horizontal, while classic yoga is vertical. Classic yoga reminds you a lot of like, from dark to light. That's sort of the idea. Now the process, the evolution, climbing the ladders, getting finally somewhere. Tantra has more a worldview of like, hey, everything is cool. Light is cool, but dark is cool too. Dark has its place. A lot of good things happen in the dark. Think of pregnant women. It's really dark down there. It's like, it's really dark in the belly. It's beautiful things come out of darkness. Darkness is important in this universe. There's nothing wrong about darkness. You know what I mean? It's a very nice way of looking at it. Everything is equally important. So they say it's not 8 limbs of a ladder. It's like 8 limbs of a spider. It's 8 legs. And each and every leg is important for you to move around. That's a very nice way of looking at it. Especially because it also tells you that samadhi is not just the goal. It's just another limb. People get very hot nuts about samadhi. We all have this sort of image of somebody completely blissing out in samadhi. You know what? You probably had a samadhi today. Mini samadhi. Tiny bit of samadhi. Samadhi is when you don't think about yourself and when you don't compare and when the mind doesn't do its usual shit. So it's looking at a beautiful painting or listening to a beautiful piece of music or having that first sip of your chai latte and you're like, and you're completely in the moment for that split second. And then the mind comes back in and says, oh my God, that's the best chai latte I ever had. And then you're back in the mind comparing to the past and to the future. But we have moments of mini samadhi all the time when you're completely stepping out. So, the yamas and the niyamas is the only thing I want to talk about, these sort of 10 commandments. There are 5 yamas and there are 5 niyamas. Remember some of them? Honey, I'm so used to it. Never anybody talks to me while I'm teaching. It's a very solitary practice. I feel like I'm still in isolation, to be honest, in lockdown. Honesty, truthfulness, that's one. Non-violence, that's generally the first one. Ahimsa, non-violence. Very good. So some of them you hear quite a lot. So there are 5 yamas and 5 niyamas. And one way of seeing the difference between the 5, first and the second 5, is the first 5 in a way are approaching the external world. Don't hit people in the face. Ahimsa. Don't lie to people. Be truthful. Satya. Don't steal. Don't take what's not yours. Asteya. Brahmacharya, also translated as celibacy, but we're going to get to that. Don't worry, it's fine. And the final one is aparigraha, which is non-hoarding. Like, not getting enough, I need more. These are the 5 first ones. And the other 5, they're more about like self-study and contentment and cleanliness and blah. So let's talk about the first 5. Even though they are sort of very much about the outside world, and it's very important for us because remember what I tell you, you are urban yogis. You are not living in a cave all by yourself. You're constantly in contact with other people. So they are very interesting for us to practice. At the end of the day, though, they also apply to yourself on the mat. I don't want you to be violent with yourself. And believe me, you might smile about it. I've seen it. Trying all that, that's violence. That's hoarding, for example, is when is it enough? When do you have enough? How many more do you need to do of these? That's also a way of looking at Satya. Be truthful with yourself. Maybe you had the shittiest Monday of your life. Do you really think you can give the same 100% as on a great day? No. So you be truthful and say, you know what? I'm going to take a little softer with me. I'm going to take a little care of myself. It all applies constantly to you. Good. You're coming to that point where you're just like this again. So the one I want to mention, just because it freaks out a lot of people in the beginning, brahmacharya, celibacy. It doesn't mean simply celibacy. I want you to be very sure about that. It's all good. You can still have sex. Because first of all, if you look at religion, we've seen people try celibacy. It doesn't work. It doesn't work well. Say it like this. Not as a rule. Not as you gotta do it if you want to be a good yogi. It's not that. Do you remember brahmacharya? Did you ever hear the word Brahma before? Also Brahma, Brahman, Shiva, Vishnu, Shiva, and Brahma, all together are Brahma, the divine, God, for the lack of a better word. Brahmacharya, charya means to walk with. So brahmacharya doesn't mean don't have sex or celibacy. It literally translates to walk with God. Isn't that beautiful? It's so beautiful. And what it means, anybody here in the room ever got a little silly when they were in love? Ever lost your mind? Emma did something crazy when you were... Yes, of course. Everybody could raise their arm now. We all get batshit crazy when we're in love. We lose our mind when we're in love. Sex is very powerful. It can be incredibly beautiful and sacred, and it can also be really destructive. Sex is power, and we approach it with respect. That's all what it means. That's all what it means. But before I keep telling you what means, at the end of the day, you will have to figure that out for yourself. That's not what you want to hear in the beginning of your yogic journey, but that's how it is. At the end of the day, you have to figure out how non-violence fits in your life and how it fits in your life and what it means to you. Does it mean to you to be a vegetarian, to be a vegan? Is that the violence? Is it how we post on our social media and react to people? You have to sit with these and you have to think with these, but they're incredibly beautiful. Yamas and niyamas. Anyway, please come off whatever you're sitting on top of. I know you want to move, so let's move. We are going to shake the legs just for a moment out. And then you're going to draw those knees, those legs into your chest, and you're going to hug yourself. Why do we hug ourselves? Because you're not allowed to touch anybody else at the moment. My Lord. Anybody wash their hands when they came in? Slowly come, bring your legs close together. And then this is fine enough, but you want to let your feet come slightly over the floor. Because tonight the focus is balance. If this is very easy for you, you might drop your head towards your knees, like making the smallest little package in the world. It's a bit more balance. Good. Maybe relax your feet a little bit if fine. Good. Oh. It's like a little egg. Another way which is interesting about Yama, Yama is also the name of a god in Sanskrit. Does anybody know which god? Like what's his job, his purview, his territory? The god Yama? Death. He's the god of death. And you're like, huh? How does that connect now? And you could think in a way, to not be violent, to be honest, to be all these things, we have to let the ego, the little sense of self, die a little. Slowly then bringing your head back up, opening your eyes, bringing your hands behind you so you can tip a little back. And then you're going to shake your legs a little bit. Cool. And then keeping your legs together, gluing your knees together, calves, curtain, parallel to the floor, that's enough. And then reaching your arms forward. And then try to sit a little taller by lifting your chest. Never expect, never wait for anything. Cross your ankles. Roll over on 2 hands and knees. Spread your fingers wide, wrist under shoulders and knees under the hips. Cool. Remember that you want to bring your wrists, those round wrinkles in your wrists, as parallel to the top of your mat as possible. Fingers spread out wide. Then tuck your toes under and lift into down dog, Adho Mukha Svanasana. Yay! Letting your bye. Letting your head drop. Good. If you feel like, hey, this is a great moment to walk my dog. In Germany we say Gassi gehen with your doggy. Go for a walk. Or maybe nothing is necessary and you just love to be simply still here and just feel what's there. Nice, guys. On your next inhale, come forward to a high push-up plank. Good. Nice. Very strong arms, of course. If you feel your hands are too far back, walk them a little forward. Straight under your shoulders is great. Yes, lovely. Good. Is your pelvis dropping down? No. Is your booty lifting up? No. You're just holding it. But it would be nice if you engage your navel a little. On your next exhale, come onto your belly. Cool. Your toes point away. You press your feet down into the floor so hard that your knees come slightly off the mat, and you're going to reach your arms alongside the body. And you're just going to lift your chest a little higher, and you're going to look about 1 meter in front of your yoga mat. You're going to relax your forehead. You make it baby smooth. Yes. Because this is not a problem to solve. It's just a little action in the back. So, cool. Now, when your butt gets very involved, you will notice that your heels come close together and your little toes come off. That's not what we want. Keep your little toes down on the mat. Little toes down on the mat. Exhale, bring your hands back under your shoulders. Lift back to hands and knees. Bring those knees back under the hips. Tuck your toes under. And one more time, lifting into down dog. Very good. Now from here, start to walk your feet forward to the top of your mat. Very good. There we go. Shake your head a little out, shake your arms a little out, and then draw the navel inwards, bend your knees a little bit more, and start to roll yourself up with a round back, head coming up last, using that weight. Beautiful. Feet hip width apart, arms forward, and then you just draw the arms a little back into the shoulder socket, just a little. Just to fixing them in, and then reaching the arms up. Cool. Navel in and up, and then you come onto your tippy toes. And then you're going to close your eyes. Stay on your tippy toes and close your eyes. Stay on your tippy toes and close your eyes. Good. So we get all that silly falling out of the way at the beginning of the class. So you don't have to worry about falling anymore. Isn't that good? Isn't that satisfying? Good. Very nice. Slowly then bringing your hands together in front of the chest, heels down, hair. Step your feet together. Oh, very good. Because people get very worried about all this. Don't be. You're not here to be pretty. Because you're pretty already. Exhale. Inhale, reach the arms over your head, but pull your navel in. Exhale, fold forward and down, hands to the floor, head drops completely. Inhale, hands to the shins, lifting your chest. Exhale, step left foot, right foot back, down dog. Cool, nice strong arms, fingers spread wide. Navel engaged. Your sitting bones, which are right under your yoga bibs, they want to lift up, and your heels want to pull towards the floor. But if your heels already are comfortably on the floor, maybe you can lift your sitting bones a little higher, make something interesting happening, an action in the back of your legs. Cool. And then one more time on an inhale, come forward to a high plank. Exhale, lower down onto the floor. Keep the hands where they are. Inhale, lift the chest. Use a lot of back muscles. Exhale, lower down. Bring it back to hands and knees. Tuck toes under. Bring it back into down dog. Cool. On your next exhale, bend your knees and look in between your hands. Slightly step or hop forward. Exhale, fold forward and down. Let your head drop. Navel engaged. Inhale, arms circle up overhead. Come to stand, touch the ceiling. Exhale, navel in and up, hands in front of the chest, heart center. Inhale. Exhale, fold down. Feel free to bend the knees if you need to. Hands to the shins. Inhale, half lift. That's a long spine. Exhale, step both feet back to down dog. And again, on your next inhale, come forward to a high plank. Exhale, lower down. Inhale, open the chest, heart center, cobra. Exhale, lower down. Bring it back to hands and knees. And bring it back to down dog. Cool. On an inhale, lift a long right leg up high into the sky. Exhale, right foot steps forward, big step, 90-degree angle. Inhale, come up, high lunge. Feel free to reach those lovely arms up to the ceiling. Your back leg fairly long. Navel in and up. Good. Keep your back heel up for this round. Different muscles. Little bit. How stable are you? Very nice. From here, inhale. Exhale, place the hands down and step your right foot back. On an inhale, lift left leg up high. Exhale, left foot forward, big step, shuffle, 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 and then rising up. Pull, navel. Good. Yes. Back leg is nice and long, stretching out things. And then you might as well look up a little bit, because we put like pictures there, lovely saints, we have colorful windows there. There's a lot happening up there. So you have an incentive to look up instead of, oh God, oh God. Yes, so much nicer. On your next exhale, bring both hands down onto the mat. Inhale, come into a high push-up plank. Exhale, pull back into down dog, nice and deep. On your next exhale, bend your knees and look in between your hands. Slightly step or hop forward. Take a full exhale to fold. Inhale, arms circle up overhead, touch the ceiling. Exhale, navel in and up, hands in front of the chest. One more round. Inhale. Exhale. Half lift. Inhale. Step back into down dog. Exhale. Only one breath. Inhale, long right leg lifts high. Exhale, right foot forward, big step. Inhale, arms reach up. So our plan was to be stable. That means hip width makes it more stable. Good. Nice and strong legs. So if your feet are nearly in one line, it's going to be hard. Step your right foot a little. Yeah. You got to embrace European hips. Sushi big hips, yes. Good. And then we're going to test how stable you are. I'm asking you to close your eyes again. You can fall on anybody you like. Just don't fall on the camera. Very good. You think I'm doing this to piss you off. I do that in every class. And the level 3 doesn't like it either. Very good, guys. From here, with very, very open eyes, we're going to bend the back knee. Ooh, carefully, gently bring it down to the floor. Bring your left hand down. Open your chest to the right. Reach the right arm up high. Twist. And if you want to tuck your left toes under again and lift the knee off the mat, that's a choice. You can do that. In the beginning, it's sometimes a little hard to see, but believe you me, if anywhere else, more than anywhere else in your life, yoga gives you choices. You will always have a choice. To do a little less, to do a little more, to soften, to make it harder. Yes. Because you are in charge, not only of your practice, but of your life. Exhale. Bring your right hand back down. Inhale to a high push-up plank, navel engaged. Exhale, pull back into down dog. Down dog. Why do you step your feet forward, Matthias? You are very, very long, my friend. Inhale, left leg lifts up high. Left foot steps forward, big step. Inhale, arms reach up. If you are a Great Dane, you don't have to pretend to be a Chihuahua. Don't make it too small. It's not your body. You're taller than me. Good. If closing your eyes freaks you out, just slow blink. Just play a little. Yeah. And I keep telling you, it's a great way to notice the posture differently without holding on to your... Do you notice how much you hold on with your eyes? Because you took them away now and it gets really different. It's weird, isn't it? Very good, guys. From here, open eyes, navel pulled in. I'm slowly bending my right knee. Bring it carefully down. And you can always bring a little towel or something under the knee if you are sensitive. Your right hand comes straight under the shoulder. Open your chest to the left. Reach the left arm up high. And if you feel you need it, you could lift your back knee again off the mat. That's okay. Left shoulder is falling back. And your head is not dropping down. By dropping your ear, you invite that shoulder to fall forward. Yeah. And it strengthens your neck a little bit. It's very good. And on your next exhale, left hand comes down. Inhale to a high push-up plank. This time, lower down onto the floor. Inhale, open the chest. Let it only come from the back muscle, so take your hands off the floor. That's your back muscle. That's important to strengthen. Exhale, hands to the mat, look down. Bring it back to hands and knees. And back into down dog. But yes. Good. Try a little bit more space today, just for the fun, just to see how that feels. Yep. Good, darlings. On your next exhale, bend your knees and look in between your hands. Slightly step or hop forward. Exhale, fold forward and down. Inhale, arms circle up, overhead. Exhale, hands in front of your body, fingers interlaced, arms long. And then you're going to bring your left knee into your hands. Cool. Oh, very good. Don't lean back. Keep your standing leg nice and long. If you feel you need to bend your elbows a little bit more and draw the knee closer, that's cool. Very nice. Don't sit in the leg. From here, flex your left foot strongly, bend your right knee, and step your left foot as far back as you can. Now, let your left heel turn to the floor, so your left foot is a bit diagonal. And then, body spirals forward, And you're going to reach your arms up. Now with both feet connected and your body spiraling forward, that's Warrior One. I'd say. I'm gonna make a photo in a moment, and then I'll show you after class what I mean. Think again that finger in between your shoulder blades. On your next exhale, right arm front, left arm back, your hips open wide, your left toes can really point out to the side now. I love it. Good. Strong front leg, strong arms. Good. We are going to go for a motion now. That means a movement, back and forth, a little flying. You're going to turn the palms up, and when you reach the arms up to the ceiling, you also stretch your right leg out long. On the exhale, turn the palms down, press the air down, bend your right knee. Bend your right knee. Inhale, press the air up. Exhale, press the air down. Give it a little oomph, give it a little resistance. Last time. Inhale. And exhale. Cool. Reach the right arm forward. You can place your elbow to the thigh or even your hand to the block or to the floor. Left arm reaches up high. And then maybe extend your left arm over and look under your left arm up towards the ceiling. Don't you give anybody ideas now. No, what do you think? She's fine, I think. She knows how to say no. Good. Did somebody break your left arm before you walked in here? What happens? Hello? Yes, please. Huge. On your next inhale, lift yourself back up to stand and just exhale for the exhale. Cool. Circle the hands onto the mat. Come into a high push-up plank. Hold it. Hold it. Hold it. On an exhale, bend your elbows a little bit back and come a little lower. Little bit, little bit, little bit. Now push your chest forward and through. Upward facing dog. And exhale back to down dog. Shake your booty. Make it a happy dog. Okay. That's still debatable, but okay. On exhale, bend your knees, look in between your hands. Inhale, step or hop forward. Take a full exhale to fold. Inhale, arms circle up overhead. Long arms, fingers interlace, bring them in front and bring your right knee in. Good. Draw your shoulders a little back, Mike, and strong standing leg. Long standing leg. Hoppa, there we go. It takes a little leaning back out. Cool. You can draw the knee a little closer if you have the space in your hip. Nothing wrong with it. There you go, beautiful. And then from here, strong right leg, step your right foot back, bend your left knee. Turn your right heel down, spiral. Actually, not only your chest, also a little bit that pelvis forward, and reach your arms up into Warrior One. So I'm a big believer in going differently into the posture once in a while, because you gotta think. You're like, what? Warrior One? Yeah. Little bit. It's just so sad. It's like I feel like I punish you or something. So strong back leg though. Yes. Think of the outside of the foot connecting. Little bit. On your next exhale, open wide into Warrior Two. Nice. Strong arms, no need to lean forward. Cool. So I do these arms not that you feel like a little fairy or something. It's to bring a little strength into the arms, because I show you what I mean. When we go in a moment into this posture, it's not that arm. It's not here. It's not. It doesn't stop there. Everything in your body engages and lengthens. No port de bras. No broken arms. You know what I mean? So everybody, reach the left arm forward. Place the elbow down, or even the hand to the floor. Right arm reaches up, and it reaches over. Reichen? What's the word? Strecken. That's a very German word. Recken und strecken. Good. Remember, the Germans were always very big on gymnastics. Good, very nice. Is it necessary that you reach the right arm over? No, not necessarily. You could also reach the right arm straight up to the ceiling. Fine too. And do not lean on that left arm. Thank you. That's the difference between this class and YouTube. I can see you. From here, my friends, on an inhale, lift yourself back up. Exhale, just for the exhale. Circle the hands back onto the floor. Step back into down dog. And then here comes our last vinyasa. Inhale to a high plank. Exhale to a lower plank. Inhale, upward facing dog. I'd love the knees off the mat. Press your feet harder and get the legs off the mat. Yes! Exhale back to down dog. And then place your knees to the outside of the mat, big toes touching like a V shape in your lower legs, and come to sit on your heels. Very, very good. And if that's impossible for you for whatever reason, if child's pose is really nowhere comfortable, be flat on your belly. Super good. Lay long on your belly. No problem. You okay there with your ankle? Okay. Still cold? You're really not talking to me. You're literally like every relationship I ever had. It's horrible. Balance is a really interesting part of the practice. Balance can be a bit confronting because it's, yes, of course, in a way you can practice and you can train, but it's a sort of like, let's see what happens in the moment. It's not always where you want it to be, and it's not always something you can force. Sometimes you will just have days where it's off, really off. And that's okay. But balance as a general thing is a really beautiful part of practice, of yoga practice. To bring balance to your life. Things gotta be balanced. But your balance is not the same as your neighbor's. If your most extreme thing that you do is to go to yoga class, while maybe the person next to you is a daily bungee jumper, extreme sport, whatever, you know, there are different things to be balanced out. Also according to your personality and stuff, simply to your life. What we do know is the same or only one thing over and over again, or too much of the same thing, is never going to be good. Never. Cool. Before I break your ankles here, slowly bring your hands back under the shoulders and lift yourself back to hands and knees. Cool. You're going to tuck your toes under. You're going to lift into down dog yet again. And you're going to walk your feet forward. This time you're going to bring your feet though together. Inner big toes are touching and the heels are slightly apart. That's what we consider parallel feet in yoga. It's the line from your second toe to the middle of the ankle and then up to the middle of the knee, hip, and so on. Now bend your knees very, very deeply without your heels coming off the floor. And then you're going to reach your arms forward and up, Utkatasana, nice long spine. Cool. Cool, 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 cool. On your next inhale, lift all the way up, touch that ceiling, look up. Exhale, hands in front of the chest. Shift your weight onto the left foot and bring your right knee up. Guess what I want you to do? Because it trains a little bit that range of motion. Yes, bring it nice and close. And then your right hand takes the right ankle. You bring the heel up towards your butt. And then you open the knee to the side, step your foot inside your standing leg. Hands in front of the chest, how it's going to. If today is a little wobbly, bring your arms out. Don't touch your neighbor, but you can bring your arms out. If this is today fairly stable, you can also reach the arms up. And the leg is where the leg is. Huh? Take all that stress out. All that is not necessary. Nice. Nice. So for most, when we go into stronger balances, and the stronger balances, you're balancing on less body. Instead of 2 feet, you balance on 1 foot. For many people, it's easier to find a steady point somewhere and look at that steady point and look at that steady point, and that gives you the balance. So don't look at another person, because the person might do whatever the fuck the person wants to do. It doesn't always stay still. Good. And placing your hands back in front of the heart, bring your right knee forward, step it out, hold it, hold it, hold it, hold it, hold it, long leg, hold it, hold it, hold it, long standing leg, hold it, hold it, hold it, stand tall, hold it, lift it, lift it, lift it, lift it, lift it, bring it down. Quadriceps, you want to get strong, other side. Left knee. And we didn't do it on the right, but we will do it on this side. Kiss your left knee. That's your balance. From here, and takes ankle, bringing the heel up high, opening. And if your foot is down there, your foot is down there. It's still tree posture. Still tree posture. I'm still balancing on one leg. A little lower, just for today, just right now. Just step the foot onto your calf. No, 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 no. Look at me. 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 Yeah. It's the steady, but it's not me, it's a steady point. What you want? Beautiful. The more you do this, it brings you out of the balance. Don't approach it with anger. Slowly then, bringing your hands back in front of the heart, bring your knee forward, jab it out. What's that? Why are you doing that? What's that? Why are you trying to kick it up? Who are you? Nicole Kidman in the Moulin Rouge. Come on. Bring it down. Shake it. it off. Very well done. Very well done, my friends. Cool. We are going in one last balance. A warrior 3. Who has a really solid warrior 3? I'm not going to look at you. There you go. Come into a warrior 3. So you did the warrior 1, no? That one. We did that. And you did the warrior 2. Now that's warrior 3. He's showing off. Because he's reaching the arms forward and stuff. Because he's a mother hugger. Good. Bring your fingertips onto the floor, because he has very long arms. Set it up with your fingertips to the floor. And now do what most people want to do. That all. People want to stack the hip. No, that's not warrior 3. It's the lever. He does it so much, it's even too much. A little bit. Because there is a little bum, because it's your glute. That's okay. There's a little rounding. But you want to level this strong back leg, and he's lifting the chest. High on the fingertips. If you would lift higher, that would happen. Very good. Thank you. Reality. Warrior 3. So what am I missing? Correct me, we just talked about it. Huh. How do I lift my chest? By engaging your back muscles. That's why I keep telling you, you need to get nice and strong back muscles. So, everybody, come to the back of the mat. Take a confident step forward with your right foot. Bend your right knee as if you're going to start to run in a moment. Good. The thing is, people love to go in like this. It's really hard. What we want to do, we're going to bring us close to the right leg. See how deep I go? I bring my fingertips onto the floor and my left heel, my back foot is up. Because I want to level the hip. Does that make sense with the hip? Yes. Now, walk forward until you're on your right leg. Lift your left heel onto the height of the hip. Left toes are pointing down. Walk your hands a little forward, my friend. Your upper body is longer than that. And now lift the chest. Come onto the fingertips. Come onto the fingernails. 3. Lift that back leg. What's happening there? Back leg. 2. Hands onto the mat. Step back into a down dog and shake it off. You're so beautiful. That was so beautiful. Good. The only thing what I was missing was a little bit of confidence. Left foot steps forward. Upper body close. Back heel stays up. Left foot is forward. And you're going to keep walking forward until you're on your left leg. Right leg lifts, toes are pointing down, you fire up that back leg strongly, and then you lift high onto your fingertips. Or maybe lift your hands slightly off the mat, or a lot. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Bringing your hands onto the mat and step back into down dog. Cool. Very good, guys. Shake it out last time like a happy doggy, like a really happy doggy. Good, 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 good. And then, my friends, inhale forward to a high plank. Bring your knees down. Roll onto your roll onto your forearm parallel to the top of your mat. Then you're going to lengthen your legs out into a low plank. And then we're going to roll onto the outside of the right foot, left leg on top, left arm up, Vashisthasana. Roly, roly, roly. There's some angry breath in this room. Don't be angry at it. You can be angry at me. Why is your hip dropping? What's happening there? Is there a magnet under your yoga mat? Is there a hip magnet? Exhale, everybody roll onto your belly and rest your forehead for a moment on your arms. Very well. Why do we do a lot of planks in the balance class? This doesn't make any sense. Why do you? Yes, yes. Balance, we need the core, we need a strong core. If everything here is super wobbly, like one of those beautiful belly dancers, you know, if this is all loose, it's very hard to keep the belly. It's like, it's very, very difficult. So you need a little oomph, which you also need in your daily life, so don't worry. Can we talk feet for a moment? Not only for those with a fetish, but for everybody. So come onto your forearm so you can have a look. So you set up the whole forearm. This you did really, really well. Forearm parallel to the mat and all that good stuff. And then you rolled. And I believe I said a flexed foot. This is not a flexed foot. But then again, I'm not surprised because you also still think this is a long leg. So, you know, confusion is there. Flex foot, and I'm rolling onto the outside of that foot, and I'm lifting my hip like hell, and we lift up, and that stays. I don't break down here and do all this kind of thing, because it makes things very hard. You're not a mermaid. Try to keep some oomph in those legs. It makes you stronger. Yes? Left forearm, parallel. That is the other arm. Yes, we didn't do that arm yet. And then roll onto the strongly flexed left foot. Right leg on top, and then those hips are going to fly off. And I'm going to take those little tea lights, and I bring one little burning tea light under your hip. Like in those old kung fu movies, little grasshopper. Good. Is it important how long you stay up? Not to me. But I know it's to you, it's very important. Shriram Jairam. Please remember, I cannot save you there. Nothing I can say could help you here. Got to do it yourself. Exhale, lower down. Did you wait for that? Okay. Everybody come into the belly. Very good, very good. Ooh, shake your hips a little out. And then bringing your hands onto the mat. Tuck your toes under. Lifting into down dog. Walking your feet forward. Bring your feet together and bend your knees so deeply that your heels have to come off the floor. And then see if we can lift the chest and come to a little toe stand. Good. Legs are not just opening up. Don't sit. Lift. As if you want to come up, but you're not coming up. We keep that for winter. I'm not going to ask you to close your eyes, so don't worry. Notice that you start to sit. Notice that your energy goes down there and you're waiting it out. Squeeze those legs. Lift the spine. 3, 2, hands behind you. Come back to sit. Well done. See, it's all about transition today. You're going to bring your right knee in. You're going to appreciate your right knee. And you're going to open your right knee. Good. What do you do when your right knee is not touching the floor, your right leg? Or a blanket or something. You give it a little shelf. Yeah. Just about. Left leg is long, left toes are up. So when you come to Svaha classes, we have 3 different foot positions. Flex, that one you heard a few times today. Flex and point and floint. Flex, point and floint. So, this is flexed. This is point. And this is floint. Pushing through the ball of the foot, spreading the toes. So you get the quality of bows, of flex and point in the same foot. Here, we flex now, because I want you to pull on that hamstring. How much do you flex? Not so much that your heel comes off. Heel stays on the floor, but you really try to have a nice long leg and a nice long spine. Sit tall. And then walk your hands a little... No. What's happening here? Why are you doing this? Why are you bringing it down to the knee? No. Lift. You're walking forward. You want to bring your head towards your foot, not your knee. Good. And then you can rest your hands there. Some of you hold the foot. Some of you work with a towel or a strap around the foot. That's okay too. Or a sock. Or something. Cool. Yes. And then feel free to fall down if it's easy for you. Good, guys. Relax. I mean, be comfortable. Say it like this. Very good, guys. How does that feel today? After the operation? How does it feel? Is it right? All this? Good. Yes. You notice that yourself, or that little anti-turtle moment coming out of your shell. Sri Ram Jai Ram, bye bye. Good. 5, 4, 3, 2, and sweetly bring yourself back up. Ooh. You're going to bring your right knee up. You're going to give a little bit more flex to your right foot so your toes come off, and then your opposite left hand is going to take the outside of the right foot. Take a good hold. And then you're just going to stretch that leg out. Easy peasy. Now, to get a little out of that Quasimodo feel, I want you to reach your right arm back. So there's a little lengthening and lift. Beautiful. Left leg is still kind of like active. Yes. And now, just for those connoisseurs, for those Liebhabers, you could lift your left leg off the mat. What? It's a balance class. What do you want? Come on, lift. Lift left leg. Lift long left leg. Left leg. Left leg lift. Lift das linke Bein. Das linke Bein nach oben. Slowly bring it down. Relax your legs. Shake it a little off. Good. You think I'm gonna, I'm fooling you here, but I'm not. It's really possible. Bend your left knee in. Appreciate your left knee. Opening the left leg to the side. Janu Shircha Asana. So, does anybody know the English name for Janu Shircha Asana? No, I mean, sometimes it floats through. It is translated as head to knee posture. Funny enough. Now, let's do that, everybody. Do the whole setup. Support the bent knee. Leg is long, heel stays on the floor, sitting as tall as a cucumber. And then you're trying to bring your forehead onto your knee. That's a very different sensation, isn't it? And it doesn't really give you a lot of hamstring stretch, I feel, because you're really working the back. Now, come back up to sit and think of tilting much more forward. See, I don't do all this. No need to reach the arms up. You just walk forward. Good. Nice, guys. You got more time than you think. Because now I see it. But all good. Patience is a virtue. Good, guys. Nice. What would be interesting for you is to have a sensation in the back of your long right leg. That would be really interesting. You alright? And yes, for some of us it is fairly likely that we will never be completely flat on the leg with the upper body. It's just how it is. That's okay too, because it's not your body. Some people can wiggle their ears and roll their tongue, but not everybody. Just bodies are different. It's very, very easy. Slowly then. Take a last deep breath here. Then bring yourself back up. It's a little bit of grace. Bring your left knee up. Flexing the left foot. Right hand outside. Left foot takes a nice and secure grip, and you just stretch that leg out. Left arm reaches back. Look towards your left hand. And then maybe shift that weight a little further back. You can lift that long right leg as well off the floor. Rechte been. Yeah, lean a little. Find that balance. Balance is play. Okay. Exhale. Slowly bring it down. Okay. I don't know if I want to play Monopoly with you. You're very serious. Do you remember when you did egg races, like an egg on a spoon, and you did the race? Did you also do that with like... Yeah. Lord Almighty. Good. Both legs are long. Hands not so much next to the hip, a little closer next to the thighs, Daibane. Your legs are very long, feet are very flexed. Now, as you can see, we have different lengths in arms. Some of us will have the elbows a little bent. I'm trying to sit tall though, stretching it all out. Shifting the weight forward, I'm trying to lift my butt off. So if my hips are here, then it becomes more of a forward lift. So I have my hands not next to the hip, but next to the thighs. Think more towards the knees, more forward, 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 forward. Now lift the butt, poof, lift the butt, poof, lift the butt, poof. Lift that whole butt, both sides, lift. Good. Good. Oh, okay. From here, move your flesh a little out from under your thigh. We're coming back to this, don't you worry. Arms up. Arms behind you. Interlace your fingers so you're not cheating. Long spine, still sitting tall. And then you're going to fold elegantly onto your legs. And you're like, wait, what? Wait, something is missing now. What's happening? That's your forward bend. That's your hip flexion. This is what your torso does. Now give yourself the illusion and reach your arms forward. Ah, more familiar. Ah, much safer. Ah, much better. A lot of yoga is an optical illusion. Good. So forward bends. We will do next week a lot of forward bends. That will be topic of the week. Forward bending is a hip flexion. First and foremost. Yeah. Would it be possible to bend your knees? If that makes your life a little easier? Yeah. So Paschimottanasana is like that Swiss Army knife, you know? You want to fold yourself sort of completely onto your legs. Ideally, getting a stretch on the whole backside. But sometimes, you know, you got to choose your struggle. As Ms. Wanji says, you can't struggle with everything. You've got to choose a struggle. This is very good advice. You could say, I did the legs already, one after the other. Now I do more the spine and the hip flexion. That's super fine. Then bend your knees. Cool. 4, 5, 4, 3, 2, 2. And then coming back out. Good. Bend your knees. Don't worry, I didn't forget. We're going to lift again. Bend the knees and lift the hip. Oh. Bend the knees, lift the hip just as a counter stretch. That's not the one I want. 4, 5, 4, 3. There we are. 2. And bring your hips back down. And maybe not just kaboom here, but a little bit more pull back. Good. Now, instead of your flat hands, if you have short little chicken arms like me, you can also bring sort of yourself onto the knuckles. We're going to lift again the hip. We're going to lift the right foot. Right. Other side. Other side. Like you're walking. Now, careful that when you're tired that you're not. Lift, 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 lift. Notice what's happening with your pelvis. Lift, lift. You're keeping it here. Bring it down, move through the arms. Last one. I'm completely crap at it, but I'm sure some strong fellows will be very good at it. You're going to bring both hands onto the mat. You're going to lift your hips and you're going to lift, boost your feet. Boost your heels. Split second. Lift, lift. Yes. Okay, I do accept a small little lift, but I don't accept. Good. From here, come onto your back. That's enough. Right leg over the left leg. Knees to the left, look to the right. If you feel that's a little much in the twist, you can also keep your legs parallel together. That's super, super fine. Hey, hey. Oh, let's do a little loka. Happy twist here. For 5. 4. 3. 2. Sinking, sinking, sinking. Very good. No need to push anything here. In some postures, we can very, very nicely use gravity in our favor. That's the good thing. And then draw your hips back onto the mat. Roll yourself back. Knees come up. Free your legs. Shake them out if you want to. And maybe left leg over the right leg. Maybe you prefer knees together. Super fine. And then drop knees right, look left. Or look into the confused face of a neighbor. Nice. If you notice it's a little too deep or it's not right, change it up. Samasta Sukhino Bhavantu Loka Samasta Sukhino Bhavantu. Oh. Samasta Sukhino. And then last breath. And slowly roll yourself back. Cool. Then, my friends, rock yourself up to sit. How are we feeling about shoulder stands? What? What? Good. Is it necessary? No, not always. What's the shoulder stand? Shoulder stand, hat stand, we call inversions. Do you know another inversion? Do you know what inversion means? You could think of like, well, it's upside down, but that's not it. What we consider an inversion is when we bring the heart somewhere here, higher than the head. So we do this in shoulder stand and head stand and handstands, but we also do it in half bridge. Heart a little higher than the head. And theoretically, if you're like, oh God, I'm so done, you could take a block, bring it under your tailbone, and just rest down there and have a sort of slightly passive inversion. That's very nice. Another way, of course, is also to bring legs up the wall, but we're not going to move now. Now, shoulder stand. If, my ladies or gentlemen, you are not in your menstruation moon days, then you could be able to do it. You're going to bring your knees, hips off the floor, ideally with your feet behind your head. Not everybody is going to get the toes down to the floor. That's okay. You can still do everything here as well. You're going to interlace the fingers behind the back, and you're going to get the shoulders tucked under. You're going to bring your hands into your lower back. This is not your lower back. Your fingers want to point up here, and then you're going to lift yourself into a shoulder stand. Yes? When you come down, two possibilities. Feet behind your head, or if that's too hard, knees to the forehead. Arms back onto the floor, helping you to roll down nice and slow, long body, hands holding onto the thighs. Lift your head, look at your toes, count that they're all still there, pressing your elbows in, lifting your chest, and that's your counter stretch. That's your counter opening after the shoulder stand. And then Shavasana. It's gonna be amazing. It's gonna feel amazing. Good. So, if you don't want to go into a shoulder stand, maybe do the half bridge. And if you're done, go into Shavasana. That's fine too. Good. So, feet behind the head, or at least knees to the floor. See if that's right for you today. Cool. And then hands into the lower back after you tucked your shoulders, your flesh a little under. Hands on the rug, lower back, fingers pointing up, up, up. Cool. Well, if your elbows are not on the floor, then something is wrong. Elbows down, Matthias. You're a little too much on the neck, maybe. Yeah. Lifting your legs up, up, up. 4, 5. Happy toes. Now you have 3 possibilities in your feet. Flex, point, or floint. Good. Yeah, you feel that? It's an interesting energy, no? In generally, everything is interesting that you don't do very often, to be honest. It's always interesting. Now, Salamba Sarvangasana, as it is called, doesn't translate to I suffocate myself. You are still able to breathe. even though it's a little like harsh in that position. So one of the good things you shouldn't do is push your chin into the chest. Keep your nose up, keep your eyes straight up to the ceiling, so there's still a sense of natural curve in the back of your neck. And then either knees to the forehead, or maybe feet even behind your head, long legs, your choice. Cool, cool, cool beans, arms onto the mat. Roll down, as sort of, controlled as you can. Just pretend you're in control. Very good, very good, very good. Bring it down, bring it down, bring it down, baby, bring it down. And then we're all gonna lay on the floor. Long legs, flexed feet. Take hold of your outer thighs. Lift your head and shoulders. Fish pose, Matsyasana. You're very shy of holding yourself, aren't you? These are your own thighs. You are allowed to touch yourself, even during COVID. You're going to lift your head, look at your toes. You're going to push your elbows in and lift the chest. Yes, more. You're not using your elbows enough. I don't think you need to bring your hands under the butt, my love. I don't think you need to. It's that action. Lifting the chest. Yes, there we go. That's the juice. 4, 5, 4, 3, and Kinadabors, chin to the chest. Bring it down. Congratulations. Shavasana. Very, very, very interesting. Spread yourself out. Put your sweater over yourself. Let's make things a little romantic. Got my friends. back into the body. Then slowly, after that good stretch out, bend your knees. Roll over to your right side where you stay for a breath or two. And while you, over the next few breaths, bring yourself up into a final seat, I'm taking the moment to thank all the musicians that allowed us to use the music in these classes, like the great Krishna Das and David Lurie and Monica Page Subir and Manish Moore and Prem Joshua and Dana Devi, and I hope I don't forget anybody. We are going to bring our hands together in front of the chest heart center, and we go for the last 3 rounds of Om. Exhale. Inhale. Samasta Sukhino Bhavantu. May all beings everywhere be joyous and free. Om Bolo Shri Satguru Bhagavan Ki Jai. Victory to the inner teachers. I thank you very much for indulging both here and at home. Have a glorious week. My name is Mark.